Well, it's always nice to remind ourselves of the beauty that surrounds us all here in the Philippines. It's not all doom and gloom, it's not all negativity. In an attempt to enlighten you as to the real Philippines, things that you maybe gloss over and don't take into account. After all, relationships are formed over time, not in a hurry. They're like a good, well-worn friendship that lasts, hopefully, for a long time, and many of us would like to think forever until we. So, my thought this morning on Sunday is one of don't let the negatives in the world, especially around the world, and I think you know what I mean. Don't let them or those that are in your little world around you and your family. Don't let them destroy your belief and your dream of maybe making the Philippines your final destination. Yes, we know that mainly because of the dollar, the pound, the peso. It goes further here in the Philippines in the sense that you can live. The fundamentals of life are very cheap. Of course, if you want to live a Western style lifestyle, it's going to cost you the same, if not maybe more, to live here. But the rental costs will be lower, even though it's slowly going up. Supply and demand. But generally speaking, most of your everyday needs and desires and hopes are here in the Philippines. You want to go scuba diving, go for it. Lovely place to do it. You want to go skiing, not really possible, but you can go surfing. You can go spearfishing. You can go fishing on a bamboo boat or a dugout boat. Find someone who will take you out a couple of kilometers offshore. Make sure you've got a life jacket though, just in case something terrible happens. And maybe a GPS, which is waterproof, would be also a good idea with somebody back on land who knows when that button's pressed, that's where you are, and they can tell the authorities where to look. And the thing is that I went yesterday to run an errand to pick up some glasses for Jane that had been ordered a week earlier. My goodness, an hour and a half for a 20-minute drive normally. An hour and a half there, an hour and a half back. Why? Because they decided in their wisdom to dig up the road on one side and dig the road up on the other side on a Saturday. My goodness. Ay susapo, as they say. My goodness. And you have to wonder, are they Irish? And those that are English would understand what it's like. In London, you go around one corner and they dig a hole. And you go around, you get held up in traffic, and you get to the next corner and they're digging another hole. Oh, the craziness of it all. But many of you talk about finding an educated lady and she will be a better option, or maybe somebody closer to your own age. Just remember, they're still Filipina. And you really need to find someone who's been overseas, someone who's experienced life in the West, who's learnt themselves, adapted themselves to the Western way of thinking. It won't change their total way that they fall back into when they come here, but at least they'll have an inkling, an understanding of where their partner has come from and why he thinks that way. As I was walking around the Robinson's Mall here in San Fernando La Union yesterday, picking up the glasses, as I said. I went into the department store and I thought to myself, what kind of people come here and buy things? And you look around, a lot of them are quite young. And I stopped and asked a few, wow, the prices are so high here. All the designer wear, all the designer items. I said, how can you afford that? And they say they save for it, or they got a Christmas bonus for it. And that's quite often the case. But don't forget, there are quite a lot of middle class now Filipinos who maybe work in call centers, living at home. And when you're bringing in 20, 25,000, maybe 30 a month, that's a lot of money. And it gives them, the younger generation, more disposable income. So there is a growing number of youngsters coming onto the market, so to speak, who the retailers are targeting with all the little tricks of the trade from the West to entice them. Little debit cards, credit cards, all kinds of things to make them spend money. But for myself, who has the money to buy pretty well anything in the store, one goes around and at this particular moment in my place of life, not because I'm retired, but my own current situation, it would be so nice to buy something on the spur of the moment, maybe for the kitchen, for the lounge, an object to art, to display in a nice prominent place in the home. But why? And using my good grammar, my French, why the fuck would I do that? And I told them that this morning. It's a bit like the story when the man comes home to his wife and he says, darling, I saw a beautiful whatever. I almost bought it. Isn't that cruel? It's almost like waving the chocolates in front of the woman. After all, they always say, isn't it? Chocolate is better than sex. I don't know, I think they're both okay. So, the thing is, just remember, there is a real world out there and we can step on that wheel at any point we want. We have that luxury, but many, of course, don't. And it's always nice, birthdays, special occasions, to give a little bonus to those around you. That is her children or maybe your own. Just so that they can have that little spark of happiness brought by money. But just remember, like I said before, it's your money. You spend it the way you want to, not the way she wants it spent. If she wants extra internet, let her pay for it. If she wants to make you sleep somewhere else rather than in her bed, that's fine. No problem. You can watch the TV all night. I'm only joking there, guys, but the reality is it's up to you. You make the Philippines what you want to make it. If you want to reinvent yourself, pretend that you are a rocket scientist and that you're just spending your twilight years here in the Philippines, shagging everything that walks on two legs. Maybe some of you on four. Oh, dearie me, what's he going to say next? Anyway, you guys, have a great day. Thumbs up. Come on, subscribe. We've got to get to that 2,000 mark. And then we might be able to monetize it in the sense that I might get my ass into gear and actually follow through and do it. It's been able to be done for weeks now, but I just haven't got round to it. I'm a lazy sod, aren't I? Bye now.